Hi everyone! I'm Bubbles from Susan's family. Today I'm bringing you the Flower Memory Tulip hat. It comes in adult small and large sizes and children's small and large sizes. Here, I'll use the adult small size as an example for the demonstration. Later on, if there are any differences, I'll explain them separately. This hat is made up of a main piece and some decorations. First, we'll finish crocheting the main piece, then move on to making and attaching the decorations. Let's start learning how to crochet the main piece. The main piece begins with a magic ring method. We'll crochet outward in a spiral from the center, going counterclockwise. To make the explanation easier, we'll divide the main piece into section 1, section 2, and section 3. Several stitch techniques are used, and they're all marked on the chart, so I won't go through each one here. Now let's move on. Please watch my demonstration of the specific crochet method before starting the actual crocheting. Let's first learn the proper posture for crocheting. To make it easier for you to see clearly, I'll use thick cotton yarn for this demonstration. For specific yarn, color schemes and hook sizes, please refer to the detail page of our product and the paper instructions. Due to crocheting in spirals, the rounds are hard to distinguish. You need to mark the first stitch during crocheting. So, before crocheting, cut a piece of yarn in a different color from the main yarn, about 30 centimeters long. Separate the strands, and take 2 strands for later use. First, make an adjustable magic ring. Wrap the yarn around your left pinky once. Then pass it through between the middle finger and index finger. Then pinch the yarn tail with your thumb and middle finger. Pick up the crochet hook with your right hand, and place it underneath the yarn. Wrap the yarn around counterclockwise once, forming a loop on the hook. With your left thumb and middle finger, pinch the crossing point of the loop. The loop should be big. Position the hook to the left side of the yarn. Then yarn over, draw the yarn through. Then make a chain stitch to secure. Slightly tighten it. Keep pinching the loop, maintaining the same size. The adjustable magic ring is now completed. Next, work the first round. Start with a chain stitch as the turning chain for the single crochet. This chain stitch doesn't count as a stitch. Then pick up the stitch by working a single crochet around the ring. The single crochet technique is as follows. Insert into the magic ring, yarn over, draw the yarn through. There are now 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over again, and draw through once. 1 single crochet stitch is completed. You'll see a V shape formed by 2 yarn strands at the top right of the single crochet. That's the stitch of a single crochet. Continue crocheting single crochets downward. Insert into the magic ring. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over again. Draw through the 2 loops on hook. The second single crochet is completed. A total of 12 single crochets are needed for the first round. Continue finishing the remaining single crochets. 3, 4, 5, 6. After that, close the magic ring. Pull the yarn tail. Tighten the center of the fabric. This completes the first round. Next, we'll crochet the second round. Begin crocheting from the adjacent stitch on the left side. Before crocheting, mark the position of the first stitch. Take the previous yarn tail, place it in the middle between the first and last stitch. The first stitch is a front post double crochet, FPDC. Insert the hook into this stitch. Exit through the stitch on the left side. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. Now there are 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over again, draw through in once. This completes one front post double crochet, FPDC. From now on, I'll simply call it FPDC. The braid on the upper right is its stitch. The next stitch is a SC2 in 1, which means crocheting 2 single crochets into the same stitch. Pay attention. This stitch might be covered, so don't miss it. When crocheting, place the starting yarn tail on top of your hook. Weave in the ends as you go along. 1, 2. That's how SC2 in 1 is completed. Moving on, another FPDC follows. Insert the hook into this stitch. Come out through the left stitch. Pull the yarn through. Then yarn over. Draw through in once. That's how another FPDC is completed. Next, work a SC2 in 1 in the adjacent stitch, which means working 2 single crochets into the same stitch. Note: the stitch on the left side of the FPDC might be covered. Don't miss it. I won't remind you again later. Continue to weave in the yarn tails. That's another SC2 in 1 done. Once completed, let's take a look. This round is alternated by working 1 FPDC and 1 SC2 in 1. This increase method is skip 1, increase 1. Let me demonstrate again. Work a front post double crochet into the left stitch. After completing it, pick up the adjacent stitch and work a SC2 in 1. From now on, follow this method to finish this round. After completing the last SC2 in 1, Section 1 Round 2 is completed. Next, move on to Round 3. First, move the marker from the back to the front. Place it in the middle position between the first and last 2 stitches. Then start crocheting. Begin crocheting from this front post double crochet on the left side. Insert the hook into this front post double crochet and work a front post double crochet. Next, work a SC2 in 1 into the left stitch. A single crochet. Then you come to the front post double crochet again. Work a front post double crochet. Then work a SC2 in 1 into each of the next 2 adjacent stitches. And a single crochet. Then work another front post double crochet on the front post double crochet. After completing it, let's take a look. This round is worked as a single crochet and a front post double crochet. Then a SC2 in 1. And all the front post double crochets are worked into the front post double crochets from the previous round. From now on, we'll simply call it increase 1 stitch every 2. Then continue working this round following this crochet pattern. After completing the last SC2 in 1, work another single crochet, which perfectly forms an increase 1 stitch every 2 with the starting front post double crochet. So the third round of section 1 is completed. The starting yarn tail has already been secured for 1 round. You can cut it directly. Next, move on to crochet the 4th round. First, move the yarn marker. For each round you crochet from now on, you need to move the yarn marker first. Start crocheting from the front post double crochet on the left side. From now on, always start crocheting from the starting front post double crochet. Insert your hook into this front post double crochet and work a front post double crochet. The front post double crochets for each subsequent round are worked into the front post double crochets from the previous round. Next, work a single crochet. Work a SC2 in 1 into the adjacent stitch. Move down to the next 3 stitches on the left side. Work a single crochet into each of them. 1 front post double crochet. Then work another single crochet. After that, work a SC2 in 1. The crochet pattern for this round is increase 1 stitch every 3. Continue following this pattern until you finish this round. Once the last SC2 in 1 is completed, work 1 more single crochet. This will make exactly 3 stitches total with the starting front post double crochet and the next stitch. With that, section 1 round 4 is completed. Next, I'll teach you how to count rounds. As you can see, there are raised textures forming visible rings on the fabric surface. Each texture represents 1 round. Avoid counting from the starting position. Start counting rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4. A total of 4 rounds. That's how you count rounds. If you run out of a yarn during the crocheting process, I'll use this swatch to show you how to join yarn. Start with an incomplete single crochet. Insert. Draw the yarn through. This is an incomplete single crochet. Then hold the new yarn properly in your left hand. Draw the yarn through. Continue crocheting downward. Place these 2 yarn tails on top of your hook, and weave them in as you go along. Excess yarn tails, you can cut them directly. This is the method for joining yarn. Next, let's look at the crochet pattern for section 1. Start increasing stitches from round 2. Round 2 is increase 1 stitch every 1. Round 3 is increase 1 stitch every 2. Round 4 is increase 1 stitch every 3. Each round is based on the previous round, adding 6 stitches each round, so each time you crochet another round, the number of stitches between increases goes up by 1, and so on. Each size can be crocheted to the corresponding number of rounds, by referring to the chart. Refer to the chart for the number of increase stitches. Simply increase evenly the total number of stitches per round, the number of increases, and the increase pattern, are all referenced in the chart. The increase placement isn't fixed. You can distribute them freely, as long as they are staggered between 2 FPDC stitches. Just evenly increase the required number of stitches. After completing each round, check the stitch count. Make sure there are no extra or missing stitches. Follow this pattern. You can complete the remaining rounds of section 1 on your own. Don't cut the yarn after finishing. That's all for section 1 of the main piece. After completing section 1, continue with section 2. Here I'll use a swatch to demonstrate the crochet method for section 2. The rounds in section 2 are divided into 2 cases. One is a round where you work even with single crochets and front post double crochets. This is called an even stitch round. The other requires increasing stitches. This is called an increase round. Refer to the chart. Rounds 1-4 of section 2 are even stitch rounds, which means you correspondingly make single crochets and front post double crochets. Complete these rounds. Everyone take a look. This is what it looks like after completing the first 4 rounds of section 2. Continue with round 5 of section 2. This round is an increase round. Everyone refer to the chart. Continue increasing following the same pattern as section 1. Complete this round. That's all for round 5 of section 2. Next in section 2, the crochet method is the same for every size. Only the number of rounds differs. Which size you're making? Refer to the table. Check how many rounds of even stitching, alternating with 1 increase round. Continue crocheting down, for adult sizes second to last round, and for children's sizes final round. The pattern is slightly different. From now on follow the table and chart. Complete the remaining rounds of section 2 by yourself. Same as before, don't cut the yarn after finishing. That's all for the pattern of section 2. After completing section 2, start crocheting section 3 from the yarn tail you left earlier. I'll demonstrate with a swatch. I'm still following the pattern for adult small size. Refer to your own chart for other sizes. The crochet method is the same, only the stitch count differs. Start with one front post double crochet. Then work a single crochet. Next is 2 half double crochets. Let's start with the first stitch. Yarn over. Insert the hook. Draw the yarn through. Now there are 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, draw through in once. And 1 half double crochet is completed. The braid on the upper right is its stitch. Next, work one more stitch on the left side. Yarn over. Insert the hook. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over again. Draw through in once. And another half double crochet is completed. Next are 5 double crochets. Let's start with the first stitch. Yarn over the hook. Insert. Draw the yarn through. There are 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over. Pass through the first 2 loops. This is an incomplete double crochet. Now there are still 2 loops left on your hook. Wrap yarn around hook again, draw through in once. So this double crochet is completed. The braid at the upper right is its stitch. Work one more stitch downward. First, make an incomplete double crochet. Then yarn over and draw through in once. So another double crochet is completed. Work 3 more stitches downward. When completed, this is a DC 2-in-1, which means working 2 double crochets in the same stitch. 1, 2. So this DC 2-in-1 is completed. Next, crochet a double crochet. After completing, crochet the stitch to the right of this double crochet, symmetrically to the left side of the front post double crochet, which means first crochet a double crochet. A DC 2-in-1. Then work 5 double crochets in sequence. Next, work 2 half double crochets. Finally, crochet a single crochet. So the symmetrical stitch here is completed. After completing, let's take a look. I will treat this front post double crochet and the stitches on the left side of the front post double crochet as a group for this round. Let me demonstrate again. First, crochet a front post double crochet. Then crochet a single crochet. 2 half double crochets. Next, 5 double crochets. Then a DC 2-in-1. Followed by a double crochet. After completing, crochet the symmetrical stitch on the right side of this double crochet. Once that's done, another group is completed. Continue crocheting in this group pattern. all the way around to finish the round. Once completed, section 3 round 1 is done. Next, crochet round 2. First, crochet a front post double crochet in sequence. A single crochet. And 3 half double crochets. After completing, pick up the stitch and make a double crochet. Keep crocheting until right before the last double crochet of this group. Once you reach the corresponding position, crochet 3 half double crochets in sequence. A single crochet. After completing, we will treat this front post double crochet, and the stitch on its left side, as one group for this round. Continue crocheting in this group pattern. Finish crocheting this round. After completing, section 3 round 2 is done. Next, move on to round 3. First, make a slip stitch on the left side. Insert the hook. Draw the yarn through. Pull through all the loops on the hook at once. One slip stitch is completed. The slip stitches here should not be tightened. Continue crocheting the corresponding stitches following the chart. Keep crocheting until right before this front post stitch. After completing, we'll treat this slip stitch and the stitch to the left of the slip stitch as one cluster for this round. Continue to make another cluster like this. First, make a slip stitch. Insert. Draw the yarn through. Pull through all the loops on the hook at once. Another slip stitch is done. Refer to the chart going down. Complete all the stitches in this group. Once completed, another cluster is done. Continue crocheting this way, making one group. Finish the entire round. Once completed, section 3 round 3 is finished. Finally, leave a yarn tail of about 5 centimeters. Fasten off the yarn. Next, from the back, hook the yarn tail through the stitch on the left side. Then hook the yarn tail through the middle of the last stitch. Gently tighten. This makes the yarn tail look neater, without visible marks. Finally, hide the yarn tail inside the hat. You can weave in a few more stitches. Trim off the excess yarn tail. The yarn marker can now be removed. This completes the crocheting of section 3. Up to this point, the main body crocheting is finished. Next, let's make and attach the accessories. The accessories consist of a flower, pearls, and a bow. Let's start with making the flower. The flower is made up of the main part and a button. Crochet the main part first and then attach it. Start the main part with a magic ring. Follow the magic ring, form a loop. The new stitch techniques used are the DC3 bobble cluster. Next, please watch my demonstration for the specific method. First, start with an adjustable magic ring. After completing that, crochet round 1. Start with 10 single crochets. After completing, tighten the ring. After completing, crochet round 2. First, slip stitch into the left side of the first stitch. Pull tight. Then work 3 chains, followed by a DC3 bobble cluster. First, work 3 incomplete double crochets in this stitch. When crocheting, make sure to tighten the starting yarn tail. Then move down to the single crochet on the left side. Work another 3 incomplete double crochets. Now there are 7 loops on the hook. Yarn over and draw through all loops in once. So this DC3 bobble cluster is done. From now on, I'll call it a bobble decrease for short. Then work 3 chain stitches. Continue by making a slip stitch in the same stitch. Tighten it. After finishing, let's take a look. We consider this bobble decrease together with the 3 chains on both sides and the 2 slip stitches as one petal. Push this petal from the back toward the front to make it pop out on the right side. After completing each petal from now on, push it forward. Then work another petal. I'll demonstrate the crocheting method once again. Start with a slip stitch in the left stitch. Tighten it. Then work 3 chains. Next, work a bobble decrease. First, make 3 incomplete double crochets in this stitch. Then make 3 more incomplete double crochets in the left stitch. Yarn over, and draw through once. That completes the bobble decrease. Then work 3 chain stitches and a slip stitch. Tighten it. All the slip stitches on the flower need to be tightened. So another petal is completed. Push forward slightly. Follow this method for the remaining petals. Finish crocheting all the remaining petals. After completing the last petal, stretch the loop. Leave a yarn tail of about 20 centimeters and break the yarn. Trim off the excess yarn tail. So the main part of the flower is completed. Next, attach the flower to the main part of the hat. Let's look at the finished product. The main part of the hat is crocheted in rounds using front post double crochet, creating these raised ridges. The flower is attached slightly below each ridge. Next, watch me demonstrate the specific sewing method. First, take the reserved yarn tail, thread it through the yarn needle. I'll demonstrate with any one of the ridges. About 5-6 rounds away from the edge. Here, my swatch has fewer rounds, and is not for actual reference. Place the raised side of the flower facing up. Sew and secure the center to the main part. When sewing, secure the button in place as well. After completing, tie a knot with the yarn tail inside the hat and hide it. So the crocheting and attaching of one flower is finished. Later on, you can refer to the diagram, crochet the corresponding number of flowers and attach them to the corresponding positions. Next, let's attach the pearls. Let's look at the finished product. There are 2 sizes of pearls. They are also secured on the ridges. Next, please watch my demonstration. First, cut a piece of yarn, in the same color as the main part of the hat, about 20 centimeters in length. Take 2 strands from it. Thread them through the sewing needle. Note: the needle should be able to pass through the hole in the purl. Tie a knot at the end. First, sew on the small pearls. Count down 8 rounds from where you started casting on the main part of the hat. Exact position. You can also decide based on personal preference. Here, my swatch has fewer rounds. And it's not meant for actual reference. Secure the yarn tail at the corresponding spot inside the hat. Pick up a few strands from the surface and pass through them. Then pass through the knotted loop. This secures the yarn tail in place. Next, bring the thread out from the front post stitch position. Take a small purl. Thread the needle. Then insert it into the main part of the hat. Finally, tie a knot inside the hat and hide it. Trim off any excess yarn tails. And one small purl is now securely sewn on. Move down, skipping one ridge. And attach a small purl to the adjacent ridge on the left side. Continue sewing with the remaining yarn tail. Tie a knot at the end. Secure the yarn tail inside the hat. Using the same method as before, finish sewing on this small purl. Finally, tie a knot and hide it away. Move down, skipping one ridge, then sew on another small purl. Once done, all the small purls will be securely attached. Now it's time to attach the larger purls. Let me explain using the finished product. Securing spot. The securing method is the same as for the small purls. The large purls are attached on each ridge. The ridge with small purls is about 3-4 rounds below the blossom. For the ridges without small purls, the distance from the blossom is about 8-9 rounds below. The exact placement can also be determined based on personal preference. Simply secure the large purls in place as you prefer. Next, let's crochet and attach the bow. Take a look at the finished product. The bow starts with a magic ring. Crochet in spiraling rounds counterclockwise along the starting stitches. The new stitch techniques used include SC2 togs. Next, let me demonstrate. The crocheting method from the foundation chain up to round 6 is simple. Please refer to the chart and complete these rounds on your own. As you crochet, also mark the middle position between the first and last stitch. Here I've already finished crocheting. Now work on round 7. First, work single crochets into each stitch correspondingly. Keep crocheting until there are 2 stitches remaining. At the marked position, work a SC2 tog. First, make 2 incomplete single crochets. 1, 2. Now there are 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, and draw through once. The SC2 tog is completed. Round 7 is also finished. Next, refer to the chart and work a round of single crochets without increasing or decreasing. After finishing, start working on round 9. First, work single crochets into each stitch correspondingly. Keep crocheting until there are 2 stitches left at the end. At the corresponding position, work a SC2 tog. First, make 2 incomplete single crochets. Then yarn over, and draw through once. This way, another SC2 tog is done. Once completed, round 9 is finished. The crocheting method for the remaining rounds is quite simple. Everyone can follow the chart to complete it. Note: before starting each round, always mark the first stitch. After everything is done, tidy up the yarn tails. Here I'll demonstrate with a swatch. Pull up the loop. Leave a yarn tail of about 25 centimeters. Cut the yarn. Remove the stitch marker as well. Thread the yarn tail through the yarn needle. Then pass through the front half of each stitch like this. Pull tight. Next, tie a knot with the fabric like this. Leave the yarn needle on for now. This way the crochet bow is complete. Finally attach the bow to the starting chain of the hat. Weave the yarn tail inside the bow. Transition to this knot position. Then at the starting chain, sew it in place. Finally tie a knot with the yarn tail inside the hat and hide it. This way the bow is installed. By this point the hat accessory is completely done. At the same time, the explanation of this hat is now complete. If you have any questions during the process, don't hesitate, reach us via our website, Susan's Family, supporting your handwork experience, sharing the joy of life. Thank you all for watching. See you in the next episode.